I learned my lesson when I was 9 years old. Today I'm going to tell the story of how I started and stopped gambling at the age of 9 years old. It was actually my 9th birthday, and my father took me to go visit my uncle. My uncle had recently moved to the same town we were living in, and we were going to see. I was always intrigued by my uncle. He served in World War II, and I knew that he had served in the war. And when I went to meet him that day, I said, "Uncle Tom, I understand you served in the war." And he looked down at me and said, "Yes." I said, "What did you do?" And looking down, I smelled liquor on his breath. He said, "I survived." Well, that wasn't what I was expecting to hear from him, but that was his full explanation. Later, he wrote a book about his experience. My uncle was taken prisoner of war on the island of Corregidor in the Philippines in 1942. So war started for the United States in what? December 7th, 1941. February 42, he was taken prisoner of war. My grandmother received this telegram here, Western Union. This was first part of 42, February. The name of this individual, Thomas E. Prue, has not been shown on any casualty list received at the War Department. In every case of casualty, the nearest relative will be notified immediately upon receipt of such report. Yours truly, Major General, the Adjutant General. So they got that in the first part of February. Later, in January of the next year, they received this Western Union telegram. Your son, Sergeant Thomas E. Prue, infantry, reported a prisoner of war of the Japanese government in the Philippine island. Again, signed by the Adjutant General. So on my birthday, I go see him. He said, "What'd you get for your birthday?" I said, $6. I got some money for my birthday. He said, "Oh yeah? You want to play HighCard for it?" "What's that?" He said, "Well, we take a deck of cards, and I draw a card, and you draw a card. And if yours is higher than mine, you win." I'm like, "Damn, that sounds fantastic. I could turn my $6 into 12. I'm in." So he pulled a card, I pulled a card, and he snatched my $6. Boom, right out of my hand, stuck it in his pocket, never said another word. And I'm standing there, empty-handed. So I go home, and I walk into my mother's bedroom, and I'm upset. I'm probably crying, and tell her what had just happened. My mother turned to my father and said, "You go back to your brother Tom, and you get that $6 back." And my father said, "No, he bet the $6. My father looked down at me and he says, "If you would have got the HighCard, would you have taken his $6? "Yes." He said, "Well, you didn't. You lost. You lost the $6. Your fault." And that was the lesson. And I haven't gambled since. Kind of. I'm in business, so everything's a gamble, but I'm not a gambler. I do not go to a casino, and I don't participate in gambling. No gambling on sporting events. None. I learned my lesson when I was 9 years old.